2 and 1-866-6775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call, that number comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 1990. Yes, of course, we are celebrating today. It is I guess you can't say today is a double dipper just because of the nature of the celebration. Today is Bathtub Party Day. Now, if you've had a little bit too much to drink, there might be an interesting scenario there with bathtub parties, but don't let your imagination get carried away with you on that one. It's also National Sasher Tort Day. Now, I'm looking at a Sasher Tort. I'm not sure if I'm even saying it correctly, but I'm looking at this goodie. It looks pretty tasty. It's also known as Sasher Torte is a unique type of chocolate cake or tort that was invented by Austrian Franz Sascher in 1832. Sasher Tort is one of Vienna's most famous culinary specialties. Having beaten anorexia, I am ready to indulge. Moving on to the markets night now. What are we seeing in the markets? Dow Jones Industrial Average up 67 points. Oil, as we are looking at it right now, up but just ever so slightly, 34 cents a barrel after we're watching what's been going on in the Dakota area there with that pipeline. We'll see where that takes us, what that does for our oil prices. We did see that the national average, though, $2.18.1 a gallon, up almost 0.3 of a cent, over 6 cents up from about a week ago. We're still down from the month and a little bit up for the year. A year ago, we were at 204. Now we're at 218. Here in the state of confusion, we are still paying $2.66.6 a gallon, almost the highest price in the country. We'll continue moving right along there. I won't get into that rant. We've talked about that before. U.S. 10-year Treasury up just a slight bit, just a little bit under 1/100th of a percent. The German 10-year bond up much more than the U.S. It's up 0.05%. Italy up 0.089, almost 0.9% to 2% right now. And the Japanese 10-year holding on to its positive yield. Nice one right there. So what does all that mean? Why is that happening? Well, the important information there is the Italian referendum that failed to pass yesterday, but the bonds around the world have moved higher. That means that people are still seeing, they're not concerned about the fact, with bonds going up, the yield going up, means the price of the bond is dropping. That means people are moving money out of bonds and into other more speculative securities. They're going into the stock market. Probably the reason we're seeing the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 63.24 right now. The S&P 500 up 11.88. NASDAQ up. The global Dow is up. All of the markets are moving up as far as the U.S. markets. When we're seeing that, that's telling us there's a lot of buying going into those markets. Is it the Trump rally or the Santa Claus rally? Well, hard to say, but nevertheless, the rally is there. So we're starting to see some of the benefits moving into the market from these different issues. And there's not a lot of concern over the fact that Italy voted just like Britain did to start with, the U.S. did with Trump, getting away from business as usual. No more of that. No one's too excited about that concept. But we are seeing, when we see these yields going up, that is telling us that the 30-year fixed rate mortgage is going up. I was listening to one of the broadcasts over the weekend, one of the infomercials over the weekend. And you know me, I'm not an infomercial kind of guy. In fact, I had a sponsor call me just recently and say, you know, we're concerned about coming on your radio program because there's no call to action. And I said, that is perfect. Don't want a call to action. This is not a sales pitch. If it was a sales pitch, I'd be jumping up and down telling you to call right now. Don't wait, call. That's boring. I think it's boring anyway, so I'm assuming that if I believe it's boring, I think that you will probably find it boring as well, so that we don't do that on Ron Siegel Radio. What we're trying to do is educate. We're trying to share information. Why is it that the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is going up? Well, it is loosely tied to the 10-year Treasury. We're looking at the 10-year Treasury at almost 2.4 right now. When Mr. Trump was elected, it was about 1.8, give or take. So when you think about where it's come from, where it's been, it's saying money is moving out of the bonds, out of the security of the 10-year bonds, because the market sees a benefit going forward. The market is seeing that the economy should do better 6 months out. Now, I know we got the jobs report coming out on Friday. We did a recorded broadcast Friday. I was attending an event in Palm Desert. But here's the issue, and we didn't talk about this very much. Yeah, the jobs report came out showing that our unemployment dropped. Now, think about this issue, because we've talked about this many, many times. The U.S. measures unemployment. The headline rate on unemployment always comes out, and they talk about the U3 number. That's coming from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, U3. U3 is a very, very poor indication of where our economy is. U3 is really just telling us how many people that are out maybe looking for a job have found a job. So they came out with this goofball number of 4.6%. Well, they don't come out in the headline and say that 225,000 people stopped looking. When those people stop looking for jobs, well, of course the number is going to look better. The unemployment rate is going to go down, because it doesn't mean they got jobs, doesn't mean they're working, doesn't mean they're making income. It means they gave up. The real number we want to look at is still 9.3% coming from the same Bureau of Labor Statistics, the U6 number. That's total unemployed persons plus all the persons marginally attached to the labor force plus total employed part-time for economic reasons as a percentage of the civilian labor force plus all persons marginally attached to the labor force. What does all that gobbledygook mean? Well, if you're unemployed or underemployed, that goes into the U6 number. Those people that can't find full-time work but really want full-time work, they're in that number of 9.3%, much more significant than the headline numbers of 4.6%. So don't take a whole lot of excitement out of those numbers. We'll continue chatting about that. There's a lot more to go with that one. Did you see the good news? Colin Kaepernick. Glad to see this. Colin got benched. What a shame that this jerk got, instead of taking a knee for the national anthem, he was put on his rear end on the bench for lack of performance. Maybe he'll get a clue. Now, I did notice this was kind of funny, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens with the NFL. Does the ownership of the NFL have any kind of guts? And there is a big question mark there as well. But Kaepernick, taking a seat during the national anthem, now he says that he will opt out of his contract at the end of this year. Thank goodness. I'm hoping that maybe nobody will pick him up. It would be wonderful to me to see that nobody picks up this jerk.
Nothing like a little air of superiority.
Yeah, a little air of superiority. Unbelievable how this jerk has gotten so much publicity, and now he can't perform on the field. Hopefully, maybe he will opt out of his contract. Hopefully, nobody in the NFL picks him up, and then he can sit on his knee for as much time as he wants, wherever he wants. Unbelievable. Half of the high-paying jobs in America now require this skill. Roughly half of the jobs in the top income quartile, defined as those paying $57,000 or more per year, are in occupations that commonly require applicants to have at least some computer coding knowledge or skill, according to an analysis of 26 million U.S. online job postings released by the firm Burning Glass and Oracle Academy, the philanthropic arm of Oracle, focused on computer science education in Redwood City. What do you think about that one? Does your job require you to have some sort of coding experience? How do they define coding experience? It'd be very interesting, very, very fascinating to see how they define that. And do you believe it? Let me know. Ron at ronsiegelradio.com, on Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. Got a lot to chat about today. We're going to talk about some common credit card complaints, maybe even some solutions to those complaints. We'll talk about those with you. Reasons to buy your dream home. We'll chat about that. I think there's always a good reason to buy your dream home. I had a very interesting debate this past few days with a gentleman about buying. Should we be buying right now? Is now the time to buy, or are we heading into another bubble? Visa delays chip card use at the gas pump for another 3 years. And do I need life insurance? Those are all on our docket for today. You can reach us anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter at Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
What if your family business could help clothe a less fortunate family? Or your restaurant could feed truly hungry people? What if you could help to comfort the lonely? Plant sustainable resources where nothing has ever grown before? Or make a child's lifelong wish come true? What if all you had to do was simply do nothing more than what your business already does every day? Would you do it? Introducing Processing for a Cause, a unique program that turns a percentage of your business's credit card volume into ongoing donation dollars for nonprofit organizations and foundations. Simply switch your credit card processing provider to Processing for a Cause and begin supporting a worthy cause today. The process is simple, and the cause will change lives forever. Processing for a Cause.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel lending team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel lending team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 0186945.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solutions for you. Visa. They are delaying their chip card use at the gas pumps for 3 years. You're starting to get used to using your chip-enabled card whenever you make a purchase in a physical store. One place you won't be using it soon, that's at the gas pump. Visa stalled the EMV at the pump, the electronic chip. They announced it December 1st, pushing back the date of the chip activation at automated fuel dispensers from October 1, 2017 to October 1, 2020. The reason? The payment cartel is acknowledging that some industries are facing unexpected challenges with the move to chip cards. The delay is also being attributed in part to the overall drop in fraud at the pump since Visa Transaction Advisor was introduced. It's an artificial intelligence software taps databases instantly when you insert a card to make a determination about whether or not they really believe it's you at the gas pump. We knew that the AFD segment would need more time to upgrade to chips because of the complicated infrastructure and specialized technology required for fuel pumps. For instance, in some cases, older pumps may need to be replaced before adding chip readers, requiring specialized vendors and breaking into concrete. That doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun, does it? The dangers of using a debit card at the pump. That said, fraud at the gas pump is not something to be taken lightly. It still is a threat to you, particularly if you use a debit card. If you carry one and use it at a gas station, you're asking for trouble. It's not a matter of if you'll get into trouble. It's only a matter of when. If you do pay at the pump and use a debit, the gas station will put a giant hold of $100 or $150 or more on your card. You may only pump $20 of gas, so be careful of that. But many times that hold won't be released for days, and your checking account reflects that $100 or more hold. If you bounce a check because of that hold, your bank won't cut you any slack, so you need to be aware of it. To protect yourself from skimmers, follow this advice. Those are the guys that try and steal your credit card information at the pump. Inspect the plastic slot where you insert your card and shake it to make sure that it doesn't come loose. Any loose point indicates that there may be a skimmer attached. Cover the keypad as you enter your PIN or zip code. Don't give crooks a chance to record your digits with a hidden camera if there is one in use. Consider paying cash or credit instead. Check your bank statements daily. If your account is compromised, you may be able to catch it quickly and avoid more damage if you keep up with your accounts regularly. That is the Your Credit Matters segment, again brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. They all are. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer, I think it's $87 a month. I don't own the company or have any ownership in the company, but I believe their number is $87 a month. And you get the credit enhancement process. You get, I believe LifeLock is included in it. There's a method of repaying or paying down your credit card debt. A lot of different tools in there. Give them a call. Check it out or go to their website, creditsanitizer.com. Top left button. It is there for you. So if you're going to be being that we do get a lot of inquiries and information about credit cards issues, here are some of the top credit card complaints we see. And the credit cards are not terribly complex products, but they can be terribly misunderstood. Although many cardholders are satisfied with their cards, some customers report endless frustration. Unbelievable. Here are 10 of the most common credit card complaints that I hear from listeners and some simple suggestions to avoid the issues. Number one, I have to pay an annual fee. There may have been a time when most cards did not charge an annual fee, but that hasn't been the case recently. Nevertheless, some cardholders who still expect to use a card without an annual fee are upset when they are charged one. Solution: plenty of ways to avoid annual fees or to find a card without one. Just go online, check them out, and do your own due diligence. You may not get some of the benefits of having a card with an annual fee, but you can get rid of them. My bank added foreign transaction fees when I was abroad. Few things are as frustrating as paying your bank a foreign transaction fee when your rewards card should be paying you. Solution: call the bank and ask for the fee to be waived. That might work once or twice, but in the long term, find a card without the fees. Do your own due diligence ahead of time. My interest rate is too high. Credit card purchases represent unsecured debt, and they have higher interest rates than car loans or home mortgages. In fact, most credit cards have interest rates between 10% and 20% APR, which accumulates very quickly. The solution for those with good credit: there are plenty of low interest rate cards available. Otherwise, there are still many ways to have your bank cut your interest rate. Give them a call. But if you don't have the good credit, go to our friends at creditsanitizer.com and see if you can get your credit rate increased. My application was rejected. Always hard to take rejection, especially when a bank unexpectedly denies your credit card application. The solution: few people realize that the bank's first decision is not final, and they can ask to be reconsidered. You might not even care if that one doesn't reconsider you. Go to a different one. There are plenty of them out there. I can't redeem my rewards. Go figure. Is that a surprise?
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Figuring out some credit card reward programs can be nearly as confusing as deciphering the federal tax code. Worse, many programs have been devalued in the past year. Solution: two ways to go. One is to spend some time learning about your credit card programs in order to earn the most valuable rewards. The other, give up on complicated loyalty programs and switch to a simple cash back card where they just simply give you money. Not hard to understand that one. Number 6, it's hard to get through to customer service. I just had this conversation the other day with somebody. You know, the biggest oxymoron there is in certain industries, airlines being one of them, is the term customer service. They have none. And as some of these industries consolidate, that is one of the downsides of consolidating industries. As they get bigger and bigger, the service levels get lesser and lesser. Not fun, but that is the way some of them work. There are several reasons why cardholders would need to contact their bank, but few things are more aggravating than being put on hold forever. One of them is those dumb trees that they have that push 1 for English, and then you push 7 and then 6. Unbelievable. May find faster service by composing a secure message through your bank's website. But if you're still not satisfied with your bank's customer service, find another bank or join a credit union. These days, many credit cards are advertising fast access to customer service representatives. Guess they're finally hearing the people say, we're tired of this. Number 7, I'll never be able to pay off my credit card debt. Well, that's a biggie. Too many credit card users get tangled up in a web of debt that can seem unrelenting. If you're paying the minimum fee, think about it. You're probably looking at somewhere around, or minimum payment, probably looking at somewhere in the range, 300, 400 years to pay off a decent-sized debt. Probably not going to ever see that in your lifetime. You got to make some choices. That's why we're going to talk a little bit later today about your household balance debt or weighted debt for your household. Think about that. There's a big difference between what your interest rate is and what your blended rate is for your household. Doesn't matter what your mortgage rate is, it's what are you paying total. Because one component is not all there is to your life. You've got to look at all of them. Unbelievable right there. One of the best tools to reduce debt are cards with 0 APR balance transfer offers. But if that doesn't work, it may be best to take a break from credit cards and look to some of the latest prepaid cards. That's similar to using cash. Number 8, there are fraudulent charges on my bill. Credit cards are great for most users, but they can also be highly valued by those who would commit fraud. Solution? Federal laws require that banks investigate and remove fraudulent charges, but you have to spot them. Taking the time to examine each statement and spotting any errors of fraud is the price we must pay to enjoy the convenience and security of these products. Number 9, I got hit with a late fee. Great source of profit for the credit card issuers, but a huge waste of money for cardholders. Always contact your bank and ask to have the late fee removed. You might also consider a card with no late fees, but just don't use that as an excuse to pay late. We'll talk about some solutions there as well. Remember, we've talked about this. Pay your bill as much as possible before the statement closing date and set up right before your payment due date. Always have your minimum payment going then. That way you don't have to worry about late fees. I get too many offers in the mail for all our complaints about credit cards. It is still a highly competitive market. So competitive that many of us find offers for new credit cards in our mailboxes nearly every day. Contact the 3 major credit bureaus to have your name removed from the pre-approved offers. Go to optoutprescreen.com. Optoutprescreen.com is one of the ways of solving this issue. Just a couple of different items in there for you to try and help you out with some of the complaints we hear about credit card companies. It's a big industry. The bureaus make billions of dollars trying to keep your credit scores low, so be careful there. Watch what you're doing. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, reasons to buy your dream home this winter, and do I need life insurance? That's another good question for many, many people. You can reach us anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel lending team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Do you own real estate or have assets over $150,000? Do you know one of your heirs will be the probate courts and the IRS? If you don't have a living trust, you will go through probate. Call Heritage Financial Services toll free at 1-855-434-7400 for a free review. Check us out on Facebook, Heritage Financial Service in Lake Forest, California. That's 1-855-434-7400. Again, 1-855-434-7400.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text PAIR, PEAR, Professional Equity Analysis Review, to 79564. One of the area trusted real estate professionals will reach out to you to get you the true equity position of your real estate. Again, text PAIR, PEAR, 79564. One of the area trusted real estate professionals will reach out to you. 4 reasons to buy your dream home this winter as the temperature in many areas of the country starts to cool. Boy, was it chilly this past weekend? I don't know. I went out to watch our friends over at Rancho Christian play in their CIF championship game in Temecula, and brr, it was pretty cold out there. Unbelievable. I don't remember getting that cold in a long time, but thank goodness the team won, so it was a nice, exciting day for them. Anyway, I'll get back to it. You might think the housing market will cool off as well. This couldn't be further from the truth. We're going to give you 4 reasons you should consider buying your dream home this winter instead of waiting for the spring. Don't forget our home buyer guide just came out. Winter home buyer's guide just came out. So make sure if you want a copy of that, just go to mbelinks.com/HBG. Home Buyer's Guide. mbelinks.com/HBG to get a free copy of our Home Buyer's Guide. So what are the reasons that you should consider buying this winter? Number 1, prices are going up. CoreLogic's latest home price index reports that home prices have appreciated by 6.3% over the last 12 months. The same report predicts that prices will continue to increase at a rate of 5.2% over the next year. The bottom in home prices has come and gone. Home values will continue to appreciate for years. Waiting no longer makes sense. I do note that there may be some pockets of opportunity coming up. Those folks who did get home loan modifications in the last 10 years, a lot of those are recasting right now. So if you think about this, 2007, 2008, 2009, when people are getting these modifications, they're recasting now. They're going back into a traditional loan. Could pose some pockets of opportunity for you in the next year or so. But be aware of that. It's a small issue. I had a debate. I went to a advanced training for real estate agents. We were a sponsor of that, an advanced training on Friday out in Indian Wells. Great group of agents that are all committed to getting advanced training in their industry. We had Mike Duncan on the broadcast, if you remember, on Thursday. You might want to go back and listen to his commentary. But he and I were chatting, and some of the other agents and I were chatting about real estate prices, where they're going. If interest rates continue to go up, will we continue to see prices and property values increase? And the answer to the question is historically, yes. When interest rates do go up, we do see why would interest rates be going up is the question you have to ask yourself. Why would the interest rates be going up? Well, they're going up because the economy is doing better or projected to do better. If that's the case, think about the results here. The economy does better because people are working, because people are spending money, because people have jobs. And if all of these things are happening, well, then they say, okay, well, I can move now. They have a confident level of going and buying their new home, buying that dream home. Maybe they've been stagnated for the last 9 years in a home that doesn't have enough bedrooms, doesn't have enough bathrooms for the family. Maybe they've gotten to the point where they're empty nesters and they can right size and go get something that is a little bit more suited to their current lifestyle. Maybe it's more suited to their area or region that they want to live in. Those are all opportunities. Those are all possibilities right now. And as the economy does better, people will start doing some of these things. And hey, that's all good stuff. So as we see right now, the economy, we're looking at, a lot of people are looking and saying that they've got a bright future. We can tell. How do we tell that? We look at what the Dow Jones is doing. Business sees a bright future. The Dow Jones Industrial Average and the S&P 500 are forward-looking indicators. They're always trying to predict what's going to happen 6 months out. So if you hear a little news blurb today that says something is going to happen and it's going to change the world, most instances, the market knew about that some time ago, and that's already priced into the market. So you're not finding something that's really new or newsworthy. So the issue then is if that's the case, and the market now, as I'm speaking to you, is pretty much at an all-time high. We're at 19,222 on the Dow. We're at 2,200 on the S&P 500. That's predicting that 6 months from now, our economy is going to be doing better than it is today. Now, whether you think the economy is doing great today or not, that becomes an irrelevant issue. The markets are saying it will be doing better. If the businesses are doing better, that means they need to hire. If they need to hire, that creates a demand. Supply is limited. You can't make more people overnight. So supply is limited. As demand goes up, wages go up. You don't need this $15 an hour minimum wage malarkey, because that doesn't work. You can't force businesses to pay more money. The capitalism will force businesses to pay more money. So with that being said, see what happens is when you tell a business that they have to pay $15 an hour and they don't have the business to support it, well, then what happens, they just start laying people off and saying, something, I can't afford that. I'm going to just pay a few people and I'm going to work on a tighter organization. Or some businesses say, in essence or in total, we're not going to grow. We're going to cap our growth where we are right now. Not something that we want to hear in a society that's based on capitalism, where people are innovating and growing and trying to build their business, their net worth for themselves, their family, their heirs. So think about that. Now, on the flip side, if business continues to do better, well, then you get an issue like what happened in the Dakotas when oil prices were $70, $80, $90 a barrel, and they're out there, they're drilling and they're fracking and they're doing whatever they need to do. I don't understand all that stuff. But they still needed somebody to work at McDonald's. They still needed somebody to work at the restaurants, but there was nobody available. So how do they entice people to do those jobs? Well, they pay them more money. They don't need the government to tell them to pay more money. You got to go to McDonald's in the Dakotas when the oil prices were way up. You're making $18, $19, $20 an hour to work at McDonald's in the Dakotas. Think about that. Again, go back to the full circle of the economics. So the market sees business growing. When business grows, people have more money. When people have more money, they can buy that new house that they want because they can afford it. They move on. They're seeing their equity in their property. As the demand for new homes grows and you get the young people starting to buy starter homes, Then you get that starter, the person that was in a starter home, pushes the next person to say, you know something, I'm willing to pay you more than you thought you would get for your house if you'll sell it to me now. Now, do you think somebody's if they're going to get more than they thought, they're going to be willing to do it? Well, of course they are. And they do the same thing to the next person. And it continues right up the cycle. So that's why we're telling you the time is now to be buying. Prices will continue to increase. Now, mortgage interest rates, they're projected to increase as well. Your monthly housing cost is as much related to the price you pay for your home as it is to the mortgage interest rate you can secure. Freddie Mac's primary mortgage market survey shows that interest rates for a 30-year mortgage currently 4.08%. The Mortgage Bankers Association, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the National Association of Realtors, all in unison projecting that rates will increase by this time next year. They're still at about half of what the historical norms are. We've talked about that before. So if they're at half, yes, they're not as good as they were a month or 2 months ago, but they're still tremendous. An increase in rates will impact your monthly mortgage payment. A year from now, your housing expense will increase if a mortgage is necessary to buy your next home. Either way, you're paying a mortgage. Everybody pays a mortgage. I mean, there's a few people that own their properties free and clear, but either you're paying your mortgage or you're paying somebody else's mortgage. There are some renters who have yet purchased a home because they are uncomfortable taking on the obligation of a mortgage. So you need to realize that unless you're living with your parents rent-free, you're paying the mortgage just of somebody else, and either yours or the landlord's. As an owner, your mortgage payment is a form of forced savings that allows you to have equity in your home that you can tap into later in life. As a renter, you guarantee your landlord is the person with that equity, with that growth. Are you ready to put your housing costs to work for you? That's the question. And as I mentioned a little bit ago, it's time to move on with your life. The cost of a home is determined by two major components, the price of the home and the current mortgage rate. Both are heading up. But what if they weren't? Would you wait? Good question. Look at the actual reason you're buying and decide whether it's worth waiting, whether you want to have a great place for your children to grow up, you want your family to be safer, or you just want to have control over renovations. Maybe now is the time to buy. If the right thing for you and your family is to purchase a home this year, buying sooner rather than later could lead to substantial savings. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, again brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text PAIR, P-E-A-R, to 79564. One of the real estate professionals will reach out to you to get you the true equity position of your property. And you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, do I need life insurance? We've talked about this one in the past. We're going to chat about it a little more. How does that affect your overall retirement plan? You can reach us anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. If you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube, or you can go RonSiegelRadio.com in the archives, get the broadcasts there as well. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Isn't it time you found out the truth about FHA-insured home equity conversion? No, it's not your grandfather's reverse mortgage. This just may be the finest financial planning strategy available for all homeowners of retirement age. Helping protect what you've earned is the job of your board of directors with continued education. Major research has shown that using a HECM will significantly enhance the success rate of a retiree's portfolio and legacy. Please allow us to educate. For your complimentary consultation, call Jay Kaplan at 949-300-3855. That's 949-300-3855.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 0186945 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today being brought to you by Processing for a Cause. Actually, you know something? Processing for a Cause, great organization. We're going to talk about a gift bag from our friends at Processing for a Cause. Text Santa Claus, all one word, Santa Claus, to 79564. There's a gift bag that we put out for the Anaheim Hills Community Council yesterday. Text, don't tell them I told you this. It's just between you and me. No one. Don't tell anybody, because there's a $150 off coupon in there for a tremendous set of headphones. $150 off on these headphones in the gift bag. There is a $10 off coupon from our friends over at Chilavino. There's a whole lot of other goodies, hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of free goodies. So text Santa Claus, all one word, no space in there, Santa Claus, to 79564. And see if that's got some good information or good goodies in there for you. Just a little bit of fun there. It's only going to be good for a couple of days because it was from the community council that we did it for them yesterday. So if anybody finds out that I promoted this on radio today, they might get upset with me. So we don't want to tell anybody. Just you and I. Question is, do I need life insurance? When people find out that, you know, we talk about life insurance on the radio, we talk about how do I know if I need life insurance? Pretty simple answer. You need a strongly considered life insurance when you have people in your life who rely on you financially, or if you want to retire. Because as you know, Al Manfrey's been on. He's talked to us many times about the idea of life insurance and what we might be able to do with that, and where you benefit, how you can benefit from having some life insurance. Life insurance, if you get the right product, the right program from the right people, it can be a very, very strong program for you. There are several types of life insurance. You've got term life, you've got universal life. No, I don't sell any life insurance. I used to be licensed in it long time ago, so I'm not giving you life insurance advice. But a general rule of thumb among financial experts is at least 6 to 10 times your annual income in life insurance. I look at those numbers and say, 6 to 10 times your annual income, plus maybe cover your mortgage and make that so that your heirs don't have to worry about living expenses. But you can use life insurance for many, many different things. You've got life insurance to cover your family in case something happens to you, but you're looking at it to cover mortgage payments, maybe co-sign debts, day-to-day expenses, kids' college planning, funeral costs, medical bills, other final expenses. So you have to look at all of those different areas. Then you're also looking at it, is it a retirement vehicle? There is a great case to be made. You use insurance, life insurance, in two different ways. You get the one policy that's going to take care of these needs that we just talked about, the mortgage and debts and life expenses and kids' colleges and weddings and things like that. The other side of it is retirement planning. Two completely different usages, two completely different programs. When you're looking at for the retirement side, you're just putting in money there and you want a low death benefit, but you're looking to build high cash value. Then you're going to borrow against it at a later date. If you're looking at it for the initial need or the purpose of taking care of your family debts, then that's when you're going to look at 6 to 10 times annual income, add in there whatever your mortgage is so that that's paid off. That way your family is not saying, okay, well, I've got 6 months or 6 years worth of living, then what? Well, the mortgage is paid off. As long as they're smart and they don't take out another loan on it, then they can live on your salary if you don't have any kind of a mortgage payment. So when you're looking at term versus permanent, that's going to be some different issues there. Term is just what it says. It's going to be good for 10 years, 20 years, whatever the time period is. Then it expires. A lot of people will use that kind of a policy or a declining for their mortgage. That way, if something happens during the life of the mortgage gets paid off with that term policy. If you live longer than your mortgage exists, then you're not paying for that portion of your life insurance any longer. Now, who do you look for when you're looking for an insurance provider? Number one, check the rating of the provider. Companies such as AM Best does the homework on insurers' claims paying ability and record to help determine whether the provider is considered reliable in good financial standing. I look for A+ or better. Choose a policy with level premiums and a sufficient duration. That's what we were just talking about. Pick a process. 2 main ways to buy a policy: through an agent or buying life insurance online. I will say to you, never ever buy the policy online. Talk to the agent. The money's built into it anyway. You're talking about your family's future. Get great counsel. Talk to Al Manfrey. I'll put you in touch with him. I know that planning for death is unpleasant. So a lot of people put it off and they just say, something, it's not going to happen to me. I don't need to worry about it. I'm here to tell you that there's nobody that I know. Well, I guess after you get sick, then some people have an issue where they know that it's going to happen to them. But everybody's going to pass. Nobody knows exactly when. So the idea here is take care of business for your family. It's a gift. That's why you want to talk to Al about the trust and about some insurance. And there's a great coupon, again, in that gift bag that I told you not to tell anybody about. For a trust, text Santa Claus. Just text all one word. Don't put a space in there. Santa Claus to 79564. You'll get a link to a gift bag, a virtual gift bag. One of the items in the gift bag is $300 off on a trust from our friend Al Manfrey. And he does one of the best trusts I've ever seen. I've looked at a lot of trusts because of leading a lending team, a mortgage team. We have to look at the trust for people then. Al's got a great product right in there. Speaking of some of these issues, Social Security. Not a great, if you haven't made your plans for retirement, which we were just talking about in the Word on Wealth segment, There is a tiny COLA, cost of living adjustment, coming through from Social Security. 0.3% increase in monthly payments going forward, according to a new press release. Smallest hike in years, when there is a hike at all, since the mid-'70s. Recipients have a slight firming up of the nation's inflation to thank for the cost of living adjustment, again, COLA, in 2017. Hikes generally come in relation to inflation. In years when there is no inflation, there is no increase in benefits. The average monthly Social Security check in December 2015 was $1,342, according to the Social Security Administration. So the 0.3% increase next year, it's going to be roughly $5. $5 on the average check. Let's think about that one. Not easy to live on that, so make sure you get in touch with Al, make some plans to understand what your family's needs are. And just thinking about that, maybe we'll talk about some Christmas gifts quickly. $10 gifts your family and friends will love. Couple of them that we've got here. Themed stockings. Pick a theme, fill a stocking with budget-friendly items that fit into the theme. The dollar store has some great items in there. Fun with photos. Print out family favorite photos, put them in a frame from the dollar store. Use your photos to create a one-of-a-kind calendar. We found personalized wall calendars on sale for $6 at snapfish.com, 70% off of their regular pricing. Focus on experience instead of buying stuff. Take your family or friends out for a day of fun. Make dinner for everybody. Go to TJ Maxx, Marshall's, Ross. They've got all kinds of inexpensive items there. Bake something. It's a whole list of these different items. If you want the list, give me a call, 800-306-1990. Or you can just text me, Ron, or email Ron at ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Steve, who's engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
The answer to any of these questions is no.